Let me just read the Bible, and I'll try not to articulate too much. Just reading the Bible. So from Old Testament, 1 Samuel 9:17. When Samuel saw Saul, the Lord told him, "Here's the man I told you about. He will govern my people." Who decided? God did. Jeremiah 27:6. So now I have placed all the lands under the authority of my servant Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. I have given to him the wild animals to serve him. Proverbs 8:15. It is by me that kings reign and rulers enact just law. Daniel 2:21. He changes the times and the seasons. God removes kings and establishes kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. Daniel 4:17. The Most High is ruler over human kingdoms. He gives them to anyone he wants. He sets the lowliest of people over them. John 19:11. This is Jesus talking to Pilate, the governor who would have the choice over Jesus' own life or death. He's ruling for the Roman Empire. Jesus tells him, you would have no authority over me at all. Jesus answered him, if it hadn't been given you from above. This is the one who has handed me over to you has the greater sin. In Romans 13:1. Then let everyone submit to the governing authorities, since there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist instituted by God. 1 Peter 2:13 and 14. So submit to every human authority because of the Lord, whether to the emperor as the supreme authority or to governors as those sent out by him to punish those who do what is evil and to praise those who do what is good. And so that might kind of bring up the question then going, what if the laws of the land, what if those in government authority are impending on me things that would be a sin against God? Do I follow the government if the government is asking me to sin against God? Well, Hebrews 11 helps clear that question for us. It says, by faith, Moses, after he was born, was hidden from his parents for 3 months because they saw that the child was beautiful and they did not fear the king's edict. They had more of a fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of our wisdom. And so if the king's edict goes against God's command, God's will, well, I'm going to stick with God. I don't want to offend him. He's King of Kings, Lord of Lords. I would rather offend a person deity, a flesh and blood, not deity, but someone put in charge. So plenty of other examples. You go to Daniel in the lion's den, Shadrach, Meshach, and his boys. You go to Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, man, they're running away from a king that wants to kill them. There's plenty of times where we go, I need to follow God instead of the authorities that God set up even. God put them in place. Sometimes God will even use an evil king to draw his people back to him. And God's doing things that we might not understand. But I just wanted to bring these verses in an election week, in the midst of our potential fears, going, man, what if the Democrats? What if the Republicans? What if this guy falls? So deep in our fears, what if our faith would be, what if God still keeps his promises? And God had promised to the one who is victorious. Not victorious because of what we have done, but because of what he has done on the cross for us. And I'm claiming his victory as my victory. I'm with him. I'm with Jesus. And so in that we are victorious. And we do God's will to the end. It says, I will give authority over the nations.